What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. Obviously, I've been critical of Jay Feaster's general managing of the Calgary Flames. Obviously, giving out erroneous contracts, putting yourselves in a salary cap hell, having a lack of quality prospects in the organization, or a lack of. We'll get to that. And right now, I'm going to do. If I was Jay Feaster, A, I'd be fired. I'd fire myself, and B, what they can do to rebuild and usher in a new era of Calgary Flames hockey. Now, Flames fans are telling me, well, we want to get the 8th seed and play LA Kings. That doesn't happen. I'm sorry. Edmonton did it, went to Game 7 of the finals. LA did it, had a great run, but it's not going to happen. You're not going to win a Stanley Cup with this nucleus. You got to rebuild this team, start from scratch, and it's going to be a tough couple years. But the payout at the end will be better than what you have right now. First off, you got to say goodbye to Iggy. Last year of his contract, shipped him to Pittsburgh for Oli Mata, who's a first-round pick this year, Tyler Kennedy, Eric Tangradi, and a first-round pick. You get one roster forward, one borderline forward, and one high-end prospect defenseman along with the first-round pick. Trading Iggy is going to be one of the toughest moves Calgary's done since trade Theo Fleury. But it's kind of like Ray Bourque with the Bruins. He gave you everything he had. He brought you close, but you just couldn't get over the hump. And you got to wish him well. I hope he wins the Stanley Cup. I think him and Sid would have great chemistry with each other. I know for a fact Pittsburgh can absorb that contract. They got a plethora of cap space. And, wish him well and bring in the young players. Mata's a few years away. Kennedy's kind of a third-line guy, but he's got leadership. He's got a Stanley Cup ring. He can help you out. And Tangradi's got some upside as a power forward. Every year the upside goes lower and lower. But he's definitely still, there's a reason he was a second-round pick and one of the most highly regarded prospects in hockey in terms of power forwards when he was traded to Pittsburgh 3 years ago. So this one thing to look at. And like I said, trading a Gilner isn't something you do with the drop of a hat, but when it makes your team better, it helps Iggy, it helps Pittsburgh. I mean, obviously not trying to help another team, but helps Pittsburgh closer to a Stanley Cup. It's a good move for all three sides. And then second one, I packaged Bouwmeester and Kiprusoff to the Ottawa Senators for Jim O'Brien, Ben Bishop, Jared Cowan, the first-round pick. Obviously, Cowan being the principal player in this trade. The 6'7" defenseman behemoth on the back end who played the full season last year in the NHL and has a lot of upside. But you look at what Bouwmeester and Kiprusoff are going to bring the Ottawa Senators. You're going to get a veteran goalie with one last run in him. And with a guy like Bouwmeester playing on your second pairing, there's less pressure on him than in the past. He can do his thing, play his game, and those two guys will definitely help bring Ottawa closer to competing and probably pushing past the Bruins to the division championship in terms of getting that Northeast Division title. But you look at what they get back in return. O'Brien had a pretty solid run this year and just re-signed. He's a guy on the up and up. Ben Bishop has a lot of upside and would have been Ottawa's #1 goalie had Craig Anderson not come back. And he's got some upside. Him and Leyland Irving and Carlson can push each other in the crease to see who's going to be. Actually, Carlson. No, he's on a contract this year. Those three can be your goalie of the future. And the first-round pick you acquire, you will have 3 first-rounders next year, or whenever the year is, regardless. But you stockpile first-round picks, you get the young players, and you go forward with a nucleus of, Sven Basheni, these guys, and you get Sven and Jared Cowan as your best 2 young players going forward. The onus is on guys like Dennis Wideman to help push those guys to be the best. I wouldn't have signed Wideman to that contract. You're already in salary cap hell. But you look what these moves do. It gives your veterans a chance to compete on other teams. Both of them, Kiprusoff and Bouwmeester, each have this year and next year on the contract, and Iggy's up after this year, so go off that. You bring in it opens up roster spots for young players. It brings in young players in the organization, fresh blood infused into the organization. Stockpile of first-round picks, and then you start the next chapter of your franchise's history. It's never easy, but you got to do it. And maybe this team is better than advertised next year. Maybe it's not, but don't worry about tanking. You don't tank a season. That's disrespectful to the fans and the game of hockey on the whole. But if you can get a lottery pick, McKinnon or Seth Jones, definitely go for it. And you got to do what you got to do. And I hate to break it to Flames fans, but the Iggy era, it's got to come to an end. This team won't. You owe it to Iggy to let him compete for a cup on another team. You just do. Anyway, that's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the Calgary Flames current situation and what I would do to rectify it. Feel free to leave some comments and tell me how much I suck or how much the reason I'm not a drill manager. Later, guys.